renowned because there are like some family offices or like some of the private equities. Yeah, I think they have more opportunities for to apply. Yeah, but most I think they will prefer the local people or Singaporean. So it's generally hard, but if you say have the possibility, I think it should have. But it's generally hard. I think if that's yeah, I know. Yeah. Okay, okay. I'm not really sure. Actually, there are a few cases of the like non-visa holder to find an internship in Singapore, but I have seen some cases. I have one friend who undergraduate who's in the EHL of the like Switzerland. It's the hotel management university. Yeah. So he has been intern in the Marriott or and also one other like hotel company in Singapore. So I think at that period, I think she don't have the visa, and the company sponsored the visa for him or her. But I think whether they accept it is also like depend on the company's policy itself. Maybe I can not give you some clear answer of who, which company will sponsor you. Yeah. Oh, why it's I think it's normal because the one is like I take example because like one company Goldman Sachs want to find interns because the last intern like was the local. He was graduated from US or NTU. Maybe he will post the like internship job description or refer the other student to go to this position. So this position is also is like again to be a US or NTU student. So it's like there some of the good internship opportunities are like exclusive in like in their community. So you can sometimes not even to got the opportunity to apply for this internship. That's one of the problem I think. Yes. Also in China, this the logic is the same. So actually for me, I think if I want to find a big title internship, I think it's easier for me to find it in China. Because there are also many like foreign private equity or other like investment banking institution in the mainland China. So maybe I can apply to them. Maybe I can get more possibilities compared to Singapore, I believe. Yeah. Yeah. So I think you're really great because you find the internship in the mainland China. So I think I believe it's hard for the like foreigners to find internship in China because yeah, the language challenge or the yeah. So I think you yeah. 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 What do you mean? Singapore European what? Ah, yeah. So I think that's possible. I think. But actually, because I don't know many like you British or like the European people, so maybe I'm not so familiar. I think for Chinese is extremely hard, but maybe for the European, there's some possibility. And I think you can like apply really like apply all the companies if you want to go to and find opportunities. And that solution I can always like get solution by yourself, or you can maybe ask more like European or British students who like have internship in Singapore or they work in Singapore. Maybe they can give a relatively more like clear answer in this. So yeah, yeah, I'm still like more familiar with the Chinese market. So maybe in Singapore, I'm just studying for like not even like even for 1 year. Yeah, no, I just know little and know the like yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, well, nice thing is maybe by coincidence, it's my first finance industry, like in China securities, are real estate related, and then I go to the aliens, and then I go to the principal. I think, that's three, is like, because you do one in real estate, you can find easily the other also in the real estate industry. So that's mainly by coincidence. Maybe I'm not like so you say it's so interesting in I think it's not. Maybe it's just by the constants and also by the accumulation. Because when you're familiar with this industry, you can find more opportunities and you will be more confident to want interview in other opportunities. Yeah, and I think for real estate industry, I think in China, although like in the traditional real estate are not so good in China because you know that the housing price are showing that a great decline in these years. But I think because what I do was more focused on the real estate investment trust. I don't know whether you have heard that. Yeah, that really means like you can treat one asset or like the hotel or like the industry park as one like just as one company, and you divide it into the like many small small portions like 1 million and send it to and let the different people to buy it and they can enjoy all the cash flow of this asset. Yeah. I don't know. I think maybe not so interested. It's just because I have a two. The first one was in this industry, and then so I thought, oh, okay, always in this industry. Yeah, I think it's more. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And also because you have, or if you have already done one internship in the real estate, you can more easily to find another one in real estate industry. And you during the interview, you are more like have more insights. You can more confidence during the interview. So you get more opportunities in this side. And I think that's because usually the private equity side in Chinese market, I think they will prefer like the candidates to have a straight like industry. So I think this industry is one of the like uh, helping to find opportunities in a better or more big titled company in that field in the finance sector. So yes, I think that's one of the like route or one doing straight. So yeah, if you're doing the so diverse, like maybe the some of the top like investment institution, they will prefer like candidates who are more straight in this field or they have accumulated rich like experience in that industry. They can share more insights. Yeah. 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 Yeah, you mean the investment section of these companies? Uh, yeah, yeah. I think that's also the buy side of this, like the it's just like the private equity. I think because in China there are also many different companies who hold the investment section. Like that, if you have ByteDance or the Alibaba, you have already you must heard that company. They also have the department of investment. So yeah, so the main different companies because they have the money, they have the fund, so they can invest in different like areas. If you are doing the real estate, maybe they will focus more on the real estate. If you are like ByteDance or the Alibaba, they will more focused on the TMT or sections because they have more expertise. Yeah, but I think the investment section of the investment department of this real estate company are not so famous in China. I think compared to like independent ByteDance or the other like tech companies. Uh, you say the company are in Hong Kong? What? Oh, yeah, some of the real estate are in Hong Kong. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 万科 are in mainland China. Yeah, but I'm not so familiar with this real estate company because I say real estate investment trust more. It's more like the uh it's not so closely related to the real estate company. I think maybe because some of the underlying assets are like the highways or like the some of the facilities infrastructures or like even some like the different like they also affect like the industry part. So because I think during the investment analysis, we usually more focus on the like the asset itself, like its operation efficiency, its location, its basic template, or other like uh, but not so put attention on the like its owning company, like one per itself. Yeah, so I'm not familiar with the different like listed companies. Yeah, I mean. Yeah, maybe I'm my different industry had different like attention, a different focus. I think during my like the aliens is actually the secondary market. It's more focused on the like the market analysis. We want to analyze the different like underlying assets, the operation efficiency, like its occupancy rates, or it's like the rent level or other it's like the location or other uh basic knowledge of this uh underlying assets. But I think the and also we need to follow the market price of this different like real estate investment trust products because they are already many released in the market. So we also to follow the market price or market fluctuation trend or other like that. But in the like China securities, I'm in although in the principal as management in China securities, I worked as one of the uh like real estate investment trust is product as that also have the primary market. Like many different investment institutions that will like to purchase some proportion of this product. So I worked our company wants to purchase a certain proportion of this product. So I have my work's main focus on the due diligence of this investment project. Maybe focus on the also for on asset analysis, but also for the company analysis. Uh, yeah. So I remember my biggest project in the China Securities are one of the medical logistic. That's the logistics center mainly serving the medical companies. Yeah, they need to like transport some of the medicines or other related goods. So they have different standard on the construction of this online asset. So we may more focus on that. So I also should do some deep research on that company and its like logistic or the warehouse or the warehousing or other like that. Yeah, yeah. The real estate investment trust means that you do need to buy all this product, all these assets. Yeah, you it's like divided into the different parts. You can buy it just like a company. They have different shares, that you can buy a certain amount of the shares to hold partly of this company. So real estate investment trust means you can buy a certain share of a certain part of this asset, like, and you can enjoy the cash flow on the profit of this from the operation of these assets. Yeah. Yeah, so we just only buy a part of this asset, yeah, to to have the like the fixed income. Yeah, for the alien asset management, it's like more like the secondary market. Like we should buy the shares and buy the some of the proportion, some of like the share of the company. We buy the share of the product, and they can have the market price like fluctuation, and we can derive some of the profit from the trading or other activities. Yeah, yeah, it's like the parallel. Yeah, parallel of the company. Yeah, you say. Yeah, I think there are so many careers that are more depending on the like by chance. Because my first thing was private equity, and actually because usually the private equities are like if you have the one company who do the private equity or do the investment banking, most of them will choose the private equity because in the Chinese market, I think private equity is like its bar or its difficulty of the entry is higher, I think, usually. So maybe the people will prefer the private equity compared to the investment banking. Yeah, also for the that usually the buy side it's too hard to get in than the sell side, I think. Yeah, the for because buy side they don't have many high counts or they are and they can like participate more on the real deals. So I think the first is I think their title or their like recognition in the recognition of the market is higher. The second, I think it's because you do the private equity intern, you can go to the investment banking for the career. But if you do the investment banking, I think it's hard to find the private equity opportunities. Yeah, I think it's higher level usually. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, well, I mean the internship. I mean internship because if you do the full time, you can like the skip from the investment banking to the private equity. But it's usually you cannot get into private equity only by investment internship. I mean, yeah, usually. Do you understand that? Yeah. What you mean the why how I get the private equity? I think also by chance because I apply for many companies and that companies maybe give me the chance. Yeah, I think that's the reason. Yeah. Because I think it's the only way sometimes is to apply more because actually the first reading is there are so many institutions in Chinese markets, so there are so many job descriptions you can apply to, and you just apply for 100 or even to more 200 700. I think it's just normal. I think usually in China, so you can apply to a large quantity of number of the companies, and you can get some of the interviews, and you can get some opportunities. Usually that I think it's if unless you're so like competent or so outstanding, I think it's sometimes hard to like determine what next internship you should be. It's mainly by chance, I think. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. You can only confirm like a big sector, but you cannot like confirm like very small specific company that you want to get in. That seems quite far away. I think the main it's I know that the maybe you're not familiar with the Chinese like finance like market on the recognition of the universities. Because I know that the mainland China's market or in the Hong Kong market, they will prefer the Peking University rather than US master. Yes, usually that. Because it's more difficult for the Chinese student to go to into the Peking University than the US for master. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but for Chinese students, it's harder to get into the Peking University rather than the US. Yeah, and they enjoy the higher reputation in the Chinese market. Yeah, yeah. So it's different. Maybe maybe you don't need to know more about that because every different market have different preference. So usually, I think internationally the US is have the higher reputation. I think. Yeah, but in the Chinese market, they will prefer the Peking University. Yeah. Oh, for the Chinese students, I mean, yeah, for Chinese students. Yeah, yeah. And that. Yeah, I think it's interesting. It's located in Shanghai, but I can work remotely in Singapore. Yeah, I think it's not busy. I think usually a day I only work 2 to 3 hours. The workload is so small. Yeah, it's more like the part-time assistant. I think usually yes. Yeah, but I think the previous internship like the CICC or the aliens are on site and more intensive. I think. Yeah. Yeah. You know, third year of my bachelor. No. Yeah, that's summer internship, right? Yeah. So I think the penultimate year, I think actually we have summer. Yeah, so I'm currently prepared for the 2027 summer internship. Yeah, because I'm graduating at 2028. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I now I actually want to go to the investment banking for my first like job. It's the private equities. The chance is so small in the current market for the fresh graduate. Yeah, because they will usually prefer to hire the experienced people like they have already worked some year in investment banking. Yeah. So I think my yeah, yeah. I think if you're doing investment banking analyst, you can have the chance to go to the private equity after some year. You mean for my after graduate? Well, I wanted to do investment banking. Yeah, in Hong Kong, I want to do investment banking. Yeah. Maybe the classic one, maybe just like IPO, Hong Kong IPO or related. Yeah. Mm. It's my past private equity also like the IPO or the equity related. Yeah. So it's because investment banking have different sections like M&A and so like the also debt or the ECM, DCM. But I'm not so familiar with that sector. I'm only like familiar with the classic one. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I think investment banking is really good. Start point of one of the career because there are many opportunities in the future. You can go to the private equity, and some of it can go to the some of startups or in the China like you, especially for the artificial intelligence AI. Yeah, in these years, also like some other companies, they can directly go to the management team of these companies. Yeah, some of the yeah, you have many opportunities. You can go to the private equity. You can go to the startup. You can go to the management of the enterprises. And yeah, you can also choose to stay in the investment banking. So I think they can provide a very variety of the choices for you to like in the future. Yeah, I think although it's maybe a little tired, although I think the like the career path is wider and also better, I think, compared to other sections. And secondly, I think the higher headcount of the investments are like more stable because in Hong Kong markets, each bank will hire like 10 to 20 like investment bankers. So, but you know that private equity, some years they don't even hire people 0 to 1 account. So that's not so stable to choose this like section because you I think they're really risky because you may have the risk to not find any opportunity in that section. Yeah. For the private equity, I believe. I think the private equity is hard. Yeah. If you all in this section, I think it's really hard to find a job currently. Yeah. Unless your background is so outstanding. But I think I'm not that yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because in China, the competition is also really intense. I know that many of the like private equity, they only hire people with a bachelor from the Peking University or other like university. Yeah, my bachelor is not like so good in the finance industry, so maybe I think investment banking their like difficulties are relatively lower, so I think I can get more opportunities. Yeah. I think as far as I know, I think the Hong Kong investment banking they don't like separate the different industry when you interview. You can choose. They usually like choose after they got the summer offer, and then they choose the group. So usually they're not so focused on the industry when they interview the candidates. They are more focused on general questions because the skill set are the common, like the modeling or like the due diligence are the same, are relatively like similar to each other. So maybe after that, I would depend on my interest or to find the real estate is the best. But some I think some of the investment banking may don't have this group or they don't have the high count in this group. So maybe I can choose what I see more interesting. So I'm open to other choices. But you what you have mentioned like ECM, DCM, or M&A, I think the most competitive like choice in the investment banking. Yeah, the competition is the most fierce. Yeah, yeah. Through investment banking, the M&A and the ECM, DCM, they are the hardest. I think. Yeah, I'm not so familiar with the sector. Yeah, I haven't doing the shit like that. I think that's good, but also the competition is like really hard. I think it's also like that. Yeah. Oh no, I don't have experience in that. Yeah, leverage finance. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Some of the internship, some of the private equity were doing the LBO. Yeah, I know. Like, one some of my friends are doing LBO, like in the think, maybe I don't have a friend do LBO, but I know that like KKR in China or the yeah, they do LBO much more in LBO cases, and also like some of the mega fund in China are doing LBO cases, I believe. Yeah. So maybe that would be the streets like experience in that sector, I believe. Yeah, but I don't have like direct experience. Maybe my second choice is the healthcare because my internship in the CICC private equity are the healthcare related, yeah, industry. So maybe I think that's my second choice. I think. Yeah, I think. Oh, wait a moment. What was it? 我可能还要被打一下。对，你们要走。Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So, you okay. I think for the healthcare, I think actually when I doing the healthcare at the first time, I think quite hard. Well, attend some of the meeting of the live deals, or like they were considering like invest in some pharmaceutical innovation medicine, especially companies focus on of the diseases. But I think it's hard. There are so many like professional like words I never heard before. So I think my first month was really struggle. Maybe after one, I think the mm, I think in my understanding in healthcare, I think the main difference is uh it's not like so like similar to the logic of the traditional investment. The first reason is how to like model or value this company. Yeah, they don't many like put many attention on the modeling because it's hard to forecast. Yeah, forecast when they will generate cash flow, when where their drug be released in the market, when they get a cash flow, how much cash flow will they generate? Because they also need to predict the market size, the potential market size of this client size of and also what their drug price. These are all like hard to just predict. So we just put more attention on the fundamental like side of this company. Like we should evaluate its potential, whether this drug may be beneficial to the society, whether they can benefit many patients, if their drug is leading in the market. Because if they already have one in the market, so they don't have the uh, if they already want drugs with in a similar like disease for a similar disease in the market, so they would not get the good market share. Yeah, I think that's the one of the main difference in the investment. Yeah, but yeah, I think healthcare really hard. Which I think even many junior or the associate analysis, they don't also have the insight into what companies they should invest of and what companies better. Only like starting from the vice president, they can only have more insight and more experience in that investment. So because they thus you need to be really familiar with the drug, with the market, with their also with the people because we also show potential on the like the research development team because some of the team core member are from some of the renowned hospital or renowned like the research team in the top university in China. So maybe they have more resources and they can have the more possibility to innovate a new drug. Yeah. Yeah, that's quite different. I think so. I think investment logic is quite different from that. And healthcare, I think, despite it's hard, it's a really good section because it's like anti-market. Oh, I don't know how to say that. It's the one of the really like stable markets because even in the recession or even in the decline of the market, they still have the need for the like medicine, drug, healthcare. So that's I think the biggest advantage of the healthcare. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Usually they would prefer the biology or the pharmacy major, yeah, or like that. Oh yeah, but doesn't mean if you're not from the other major, that doesn't mean you have no opportunities. Like I have one internship in that sector, and I know that many other finance major have the internship in healthcare too. Yeah, so they prefer the like biology students, but they are not only accepting these students. Yeah. So I think there's also opportunities, and if you're interested in that sector, I think there are some still some chance, yes, to get in. Yeah, but I think I'm not so familiar with this section. But I think the investment banking, yes, they have the need for the healthcare. Because when I was interviewing the CICC investment banking in China, they asked some questions in relation to this healthcare field, like some of the general requirements of the Hong Kong IPO requirement for the healthcare company, like that. I remember. And what's the main like the valuation method for the pharmaceutical companies or like that? Yeah, they have asked some questions in relation to that. Yeah, yeah. I think the first interview I answered, but second interview I failed. But they don't answer any. They don't ask any professional questions in the second interview. It's more like the vibe check. I think, and then I failed. Yeah. I think China is like the investment banking and also hardcore. Yeah, really compared to Hong Kong. Hong Kong may put more attention on the technical skills, like accounting knowledge or the finance knowledge. But in Chinese, like the Chinese bankings, they are not so put attention on this. Yeah, they are more like the vibe check and check you whether you can like work under the high pressure, whether you can work overtime, like whether you can even drink the alcohol or like that. You- no, they prefer to candidates who can drink alcohol because you need to meet with the clients. Some clients may like to drink the alcohol. Yeah. Maybe more like you have the capacity of the drink if facing the clients if they would ask you to drink. Yeah, if you don't comply to them, maybe the deal is like escaping from your hands. Yeah, but because you know that investment, if you want to like develop yourself, as especially in the invest banking for a long career in the long term, after so many years, the capacity should more focus on the having more new clients to have a connection with the new client. That's more important skill rather compared to the like modeling or like the due diligence. That's one of the like even to dirty work who assign mainly assigned to the junior analyst associate. But if you want to do the manager directors or the VP, you should have capacity to have more clients to bring more like deals, bring more profit to the company. That's one of the company. And yeah, I think in China you should. Yeah. But I think maybe Hong Kong, maybe that's not so. No, it's not kind of that. But in mainland China, I think that. Yeah. Yeah, but so to select people who can make more from the interview. Yeah. Yeah. So that's the reason why that's select. I think investment is really unhealthy. It's working hours. It's starting from its working hours. It's not really healthy. You need to work really overtime. It's even affect your like sleep. So I don't think so. Many Hong Kong bankers are go from the investment banking to the private equity mainly because they are burned out. Yeah. Oh, okay, 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 okay. Yeah, yeah. I'm also some messing. No, no, no. I also know something about it from you. Yeah, I think. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah. So also maybe if you have other questions, you can text message or you can call. I think. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. 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 Okay. 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 No, no, no. Yeah. Thank you much too. Yeah. Bye bye. Bye bye.